Hi, dear community. This is Alyssa coming at you from Family Tree Clinic's current site at 1619 Dayton Avenue in St. Paul, where we are cranking away today and every day to deliver caring, conscientious, really thoughtful sexual health and education services, frankly, in a really inadequate space, in a building that we are pretzeled into, and in a place we have outgrown. So it's in that vein that I am so excited to welcome you to this groundbreaking event. And I actually only have a minute. I am literally racing out of Family Tree to get on over to our golden shovel ceremony at the site of our new home at 1919 Nicollet Avenue in Minneapolis, where we have started construction and are slated to open our doors before the end of this year. But before I zip over there, I just want to acknowledge this moment as a moment connected to many, many, many moments before us and ahead of us. We stand on the shoulders of giants, a 50-year history of listening, responding, innovating in collaboration with our communities, which brings us to this place where we have grown and expanded so much that we are ready to build the next chapter for Family Tree Clinic. This groundbreaking event is about hope and intention. It's about years of cultivating a healing space, working to combat systems of oppression that show up in our care and our services. It's about celebrating what's possible. It's also about fostering systems change as a sense of joy when you walk into Family Tree Clinic. It's about an environment in which you are physically cared for and emotionally cared for. From every interaction with our patients, with each other, from every intention imbued into this building design, we are rooting into the power of human connection as the foundation for the healthcare system we know is possible and that we are building together. Thank you for being on this journey with us. It is such an honor. It is such a privilege. And with that, I gotta go. I gotta get over to this golden shovel ceremony. I'm gonna see you there. And so I'm gonna toss it to our amazing host for this event, C. Michael. Hey, C. Michael!
Thank you, Alyssa. Drive safe. Hello and welcome, everyone. I'm C. Michael, your host for Family Tree Clinic's virtual groundbreaking. We are so excited you could join us today. We can't wait to tell you a little more about the work Family Tree is doing and show you the site of our new building. As a user of Family Tree Clinic services, as well as an artist in the community, Family Tree Clinic has helped me, as a Black, trans, non-binary guy, realize that HRT was right for me and that my art is tied to my healing. It has also helped countless numbers of my friends and their children find the information they need to keep themselves safe. Now, let's check in with Sally Nixon, our board chair, and see how she's doing.
I'm so thrilled to be serving on the board of directors for this really big time at Family Tree Clinic right now. I am on my way to the golden shovel ceremony and I'm late. I was gonna ride my bike, but it's just still too cold. Then I missed the bus and now I'm just giving in and I'm gonna jump in my car. But this is one of the most exciting things about this new facility. It's in such a great location that's easily accessible by all modes of transportation. Well, maybe not a hot air balloon or a submarine, but it's near major freeways, it is on major bus lines, people can walk there, people can bike there, it's near a lot of other things. Drivers have great parking. It's centrally located in Minneapolis, touching so many communities, which is really exciting for so many people to be able to access it easily. It's also one of the fastest growing patient zip codes, so I know so many people will be as happy about this new location as I am. Also with this beautiful new facility and its ability to serve so many more people, we anticipate being able to serve over 30,000 more people in the next few years that the building is open. So I'm really excited. I hope you are. I gotta go. See ya.
Sally, thank you, and sending you good vibes to make it to the groundbreaking on time. Next up, we'll hear from two folks who have been essential to the Capitol campaign, John Sullivan and Chad Campy. Both have been working tirelessly in their communities to let people know about the good work Family Tree Clinic is doing.
I am privileged to work on this capital campaign for Family Tree Clinic. The more time I've spent with Alyssa and the team, the more impressed I am with the incredible breadth of services they provide, including their education and medical services, but also their deaf, blind, and hard of hearing program, their Minnesota Family Planning and STD hotline, and their LGBTQ+ health access initiative. We are proud of the fact that Family Tree never turns anyone away from our doors for these services, regardless of ability to pay. With all that important work, they need a space that can truly accommodate the staff and clients. For those who aren't aware, Family Tree is currently working out of a repurposed old school building, which they've done a great job of adapting to accommodate their needs. But they are literally bursting at the seams and really cannot reconfigure that space to meet the increase in demand for their services. Which brings us to the importance of the capital campaign. The new building has been designed to meet this continued growth and to better enable our collaborations with community partners. Family Tree has a long history of serving people left behind by larger traditional medical systems, and our new building will enable Family Tree to continue and grow that tradition of service. I'll now turn it over to one of my co-chairs of the capital campaign, Chad Campy. Welcome, Chad.
Thanks, John. As he said, I am Chad Campy, volunteer co-chair of the Expansion Committee, patient and donor of the Family Tree Clinic. Since its inception, the Family Tree has been an inclusive and accepting clinic. As a patient, I felt valued, listened to, and understood by Family Tree's professional health technicians. I am so thrilled that Family Tree Clinic is expanding and moving locations. At this new location in Minneapolis, Family Tree Clinic will be able to serve a number of new communities, as the clinic will be easily accessible via public transportation or foot. With your help, the new building will welcome and serve more people in the community, reduce wait times, and allow Family Tree Clinic to expand services, creating broader systems change. I was attracted to volunteer with Family Tree Clinic because of the award-winning and vital hormone care program. Since it began in 2015, the hormone care program has increased 939%. Family Tree Clinic sees patients in a 5-state radius for hormone care. There's even more demand, and Family Tree is ready to meet this demand with this new building. Well, that's enough from me. I think you realize the need for life-affirming and accessible health care. Up next is my dear friend Peppermint. Peppermint is a true icon. She has been a staple of the New York drag world. She was the runner-up in RuPaul's Drag Race. She was the first trans woman to originate a role on Broadway. In addition to all that talent, Peppermint is an activist who uses her platform to make change in the world. Thank you, Peppermint.
Hey, I am so thrilled to support the Family Tree Clinic's move from St. Paul to a new location in Minneapolis. I believe in their radical, inclusive sexual health services, and I am so proud that they can offer all their services to all members of the community, even if they can pay or not. Healthcare is vital, and no one should ever be turned away. I'm so proud of all the work that Family Tree Clinic has done with the trans and queer communities, and I cannot wait to see them offer more and more services to people who desperately need them. Good luck, and I am cheering you on from here.
Thanks, Miss Peppermint. Family Tree Clinic reaches tens of thousands of people through their medical and education services. We know that each person who comes through Family Tree's doors has a story. Here's one patient's story of the impact Family Tree Clinic has had in their life.
Receiving care at the Family Tree Clinic has been life-affirming for me, and I imagine life-saving for a lot of people. When I go there, I feel seen and heard, and probably most importantly, understood. I feel more like myself now than I ever have, and that's in large part because of the gender-affirming care that I receive at the Family Tree Clinic.
What I love most about working at Family Tree is providing patient care and really being with people and getting a chance to partner with them in their health care, see them as whole, healthy humans first, as opposed to sort of the rushed, harried pace that often happens in healthcare for a lot of reasons, where where people are often seen as a symptom or a diagnosis first. It's a very inclusive space, and the organization really prioritizes inclusive, sex-positive, trauma-informed care that's really about who that person is and meeting them how they are that day, what they need, really non-shaming, non-judgmental care.
When I'm talking to other people about the Family Tree Clinic, I tell them it's a place where I can go and feel like I belong, I feel like myself. Receiving care at the Family Tree Clinic has fundamentally changed my understanding and expectations of what it means to receive health care. I feel represented in the art on the walls, in the educational pamphlets and brochures, with the other staff as well. Everybody has their names and their pronouns on their name tags, and asking pronouns and using correct pronouns is just a matter of course. It just is a welcoming environment, and I feel like I belong there. I don't feel like I'm the odd one out.
The future of Family Tree, I think, is limitless, especially in a new space that actually gives us the ability to grow. At all staff meetings, constantly, people will talk about sort of like, what does revolutionary healthcare look like? What does it mean to be, a center of excellence for reproductive and sexual health? And where can we take that for comprehensive sex ed? What does it mean to sort of take all of the things that have hampered us in and say, they've now moved out to here. Now what? Now what will this look like?
The Family Tree Clinic not only helps my community survive, but also thrive. And that's such an incredibly important thing. I am so appreciative of everybody at the Family Tree Clinic and all of the donors and volunteers that make that place possible. And I really enjoy and am grateful for the services that the Family Tree Clinic provides.
Annie and Jen remind me that Family Tree Clinic began by listening to a community, and by providing that community with what they said they wanted and needed. Hi, I'm Carla Ekdahl, and 50 years ago, I had the great good fortune to serve as Family Tree's first executive director and to help found the clinic along with John Beatty, who was at the time head of community involvement programs at Macalester College. John and a group of community members did a survey of students at the colleges and universities in the area, which asked the question, what services would you like to see provided, and how would you like to see those services provided? The answer came back loud and clear. We want a world, a community, a clinic where people can readily access reproductive and sexual health care and education, provided in a compassionate and non-judgmental way, and where no one would be turned away if they couldn't pay. Today, Family Clinic is doing just that and more by providing individualized, affirming, respectful sexual health care and education to a diverse and geographically widespread population of over 22,000 people each year. Family Tree has grown so significantly, especially in the past decade. In true partnership with the communities we serve, the clinic is listening and learning every single day. The need for this kind of care is great. We ask for your help in order to continue to serve and grow. Please consider investing in Family Tree, a healthcare model that is working and is transforming the way other providers think about healthcare. Thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Cookie. I'm a mom of 2 girls, and I've experienced Family Tree Clinic on several aspects. One, as a parent who took the Parents Are Sexuality Educators course. 2, as a community member, as an artist, and also as a school counselor who has found several resources through Family Tree Clinic. Each of my experiences have been wonderful. It makes me proud to see Family Tree Clinic as a wonderful, open, positive resource for our Black and Indigenous and people of color, deaf, hard of hearing, deafblind, and LGBTQ+ communities. Family Tree Clinic often provides an environment that is always warm, friendly, and inclusive. I cherish and support Family Tree Clinic and all of the work that they are doing.
Hi, Family Tree family. Congratulations on this new chapter and this new space, a space that I've gotten to connect with as a alternative teacher at Lauren Nicollet. I just think it's so amazing that this corner is gonna be y'all's new home where y'all could bring magical, sweet, pleasure, consensual soaked health education, sexual health education to our community. Yeah, I've been a recipient of y'all's services and I can attest to the healing beauty of your space. And I wanted to share a piece that I felt reflected the sort of sacred sensuality, power, magic that healed sexual life could be. So here I go. It's called Prism Self. Hold me, pull me in, wrap me, pull me to your chest. My head to your chest, whisper the dimensions of your love, rainbowed, prismed. Like crystals crushed and sprinkled, snow falling, I catch each shimmer from our own inner light, sparkling down into my heart. It all comes out of me like something tremendous and sweet. Baby, soak in it with your feet grounded in your own sand. Let the foam of my shaking bliss surround your ankles and submerge you all the way up to your waist. We intermingle root chakras, like ginger root, like burdock root, like the always core-seeking dandelion root. Relentless in its healing power, their depths go so deep. And maybe they grow deep so when unearthed, they can write their songs of Black earth, Black struggle, goddess, Black mother on our insides. I want to heal you. I spent my whole life wondering what it would taste like, the sweet stardust that is only found on lips, whispering my name that Goddess gave me at my soul's dawn, the name that rings my bell. My bell rang and I knew you arrived and you were the complete divine in so many ways. A reflection of a part of me I didn't know, being touched, could make a sound that was pretty and infinite. Mwah! Bye, y'all.
Thank you for sharing that with us. Sex education has been part of Family Tree's work since the very beginning. Giving folks the information they need to make the choices that are best for them is what Family Tree does. Family Tree's educators help parents tackle sex education conversations with their kids, and in the next segment, you'll see what those classes mean for parents.
Hi, I'm really grateful that you are just in our ECFE class, that you were able to just co-create this because life gets busy and it's really hard to enroll in things or seek things out. And I think that partnership is really important. And I'm really glad that St. Paul ECFE is making that happen with Family Tree Clinic. So thank you for doing that. And then I think, we, as much as so in my family, I never got any sort of communication from my parents about anything. And I think they just relied on the fact that I was sort of shy and not socially awkward, and they didn't worry I was going to get pregnant or anything. And so they just didn't talk to me about anything. And things could have gone very differently. And I don't want that for my child. And I think that creating this space where we can talk with our peers and hear from folks who do this for their job, useful, relevant, tangible tools it's a gift. Like I can read it in books all I want, but having this conversation live with people who have kids at different ages or different life experiences is really, really helpful. So thank you for helping make that happen.
Thank you, Jessica. I love this partnership between Family Tree and ECFE. We've been doing this for, 30 years, and it's great. I look forward to these classes so much myself.
Being present during conversations with parents is a deep
privilege. And as a parent, I also benefit from the lessons and tools shared during group. People are powerful resources, and at Family Tree, we understand that to be a truth we are rooted in. My name is Jackie Trelawney. My role is the Director of Community Engagement at Family Tree, supporting their vision of eliminating health disparities, a big task. And we understand that health disparities exist not because of the people experiencing them, but because of the complex interweaving systems of oppression affecting their livelihood, their social determinants of health. They can't stop us from finding our love and joy, though. So my job is about finding authentic ways to connect communities targeted by systems of oppression to clinic services. And a reality that we hold is that Family Tree is indeed connected to a greater medical industrial complex that has created cultural distrust for many of the people that we want to serve. And if you have a negative relationship with someone different than neutral, what might it take to rebuild that relationship? You know, a lot of lifting up the voices and incorporating the expectations of those hurt by this system. So since 2016, we've been receiving feedback specifically focusing on Black intersectional communities about what a clinic experience should feel like. What should our new clinic look like? What values do you want your provider to have? And where does your own healing come from? If we want to affect the health disparities that people are experiencing, we have to get the vision from the people. And we continue to incorporate ways to be more relevant to communities we serve, adding art to our outreach, critically looking at how our internal policies make space for socially marginalized staff, relationship building with holistic healers and community. The future of Family Tree looks like uplifting the visions of the people. Thank you, Jackie. Our next guest is award-winning novelist and Minneapolis resident, Marlon James.
Hi guys, Marlon James here. And as someone who still looks at and will always look at Minnesota as home, it gives me such great joy to see Family Tree breaking ground in Minneapolis. You know, Family Tree is an example of what happens when healthcare puts the people first, when healthcare listens to the community and healthcare responds to a specific community's specific needs. And it sounds like a radical idea, but it shouldn't be. And I'm glad that this is happening. What I love most about Family Tree, honestly, is not just how they deliver healthcare in such a really caring and abundant and selfless way, but also how they realize that healing, has many branches. It's about art, it's about literature, it's about poetry, it's about creativity, it's about expressing yourself. It's realizing that healing is not just a multidimensional thing. Healing really, honestly, is a community thing. And that's something that I find really, really exciting. As a person of color, as a queer person, as a person who may be sometimes considered other, that this is just another example of one of the things that Minnesota does so well, which is to make everyone feel as if they've lived there all their lives. And I think this is a wonderful resource for the communities in the Twin Cities. It's a wonderful place, not just for healthcare and well-being and wellness, but one of the places that literally will help to make Minneapolis a better place. And I couldn't be more proud. I hope you support it. I hope you sponsor it. And I really, hope that Family Tree will become, family.
Soon, we'll see the golden shovels dig in. But first, a few words from a Family Tree supporter who wishes they could be with us today.
I have long known and respected Family Tree's work and leadership in our state. When I toured the clinic a few years ago, I saw firsthand how badly they needed a new and expanded space. They are bursting at the seams. Family Tree's work in our LGBTQ community and their commitment to inclusive healthcare are so important. So please join me in congratulating them on breaking ground on this incredible resource for our communities.
Thank you so much. We're so grateful you took the time to be with us today. You've seen the impact Family Tree's work has had for people like Annie. If you're excited about the work Family Tree does in the community, please click the donate button on the screen and give as generously as you can. Your contributions to the Capital campaign will improve the health and education of the community in the Twin Cities. Now, let's head over to the new construction site and check out the groundbreaking.
3, 2, 1.
What an exciting moment. If you would like to stay updated on the work of Family Tree Clinic and the progress of the new building, click the link below to sign up for updates and receive a free gift. Thank you again for being here with us and for your contributions, which make this work possible.
That went really well.
It did go really well. It was great having all those people here.
Yes, I am so excited.
Me too.
What are you most excited about?
Oh, I'm just excited about opening this new building in this new neighborhood and having a facility that's going to be made for this community. It's going to be great.
Yes, can't wait.
Me neither.
Back to work?
Back to work. All right.